Guests, when they met the characters, were wonderful. But there were a number that they just had no clue what was going on. I loved working as a photographer with the characters of Walt Disney World. We got to see so many amazing, magical, wonderful moments. So many people got to see characters they knew from stories and movies. There was definitely a group of guests that they didn't seem to have a clue what was happening or what they were doing or who that was. We heard some crazy, ridiculous, just outright dumb things asked of the characters a lot of times. It was shocking how many times we would hear a guest walk up, get to the front of the line with the character, and then say, "Who are you? Who is that? I waited, who?" What was really scary was how often they were saying that about people like Mickey Mouse. "You're in his park! Hello!" Or how many times they would ask something like, "Have you been in a movie?" No, they're just standing here because they're pretty. Especially when they would ask Donald Duck that. At the time I worked there, Donald had actually been in more movies and cartoons than Mickey had. And people would walk up asking, "Have I seen you on TV?" "How can you not know who Donald is? Really?" Or crazy things. Like they would come off of the Kilimanjaro Safari at Animal Kingdom and then see Pocahontas and ask her, "Are you going to do something about those hunters out on the safari ride?" And not joking, they were serious. They actually thought that there were real poachers and hunters in the Animal Kingdom park. What? It's meant to make you aware of Africa, not Florida theme park. Whoo! Missed the point! Over the head! The one that would drive me nuts when I was working with Mulan. How many times did I hear people walk by or even up to her and say, "Look! It's a geisha!" Geishas are in Japan, and Disney is not going to have a geisha girl for lots of reasons. This is Mulan. She's a warrior. Completely different thing. Or poor Chip and Dale. I mean, these two, they got picked on so much. I've already talked about how often I would hear people come up and say, "Look, it's Chip and Dip." But then you would also have some slightly clueless ones that I don't think they really understood what they were saying when they would walk up and say, "It's the Chippendales." Okay, it's Chip and Dale. They're not the Chippendales. Different things entirely. We don't have stripping chipmunks at Disney. Not family friendly. Or the number of people that would walk up and ask, "How do you tell them apart?" Okay, this isn't a dumb question at all. It's a common one, and I can understand how it's confusing. It's actually not that hard. Chip has the chocolate chip nose, the little brown one. Dale has the big red one. Chip's teeth are together. Dale has the split teeth. Pretty easy once you know that. And Dale tends to be the bigger klutz and the slightly goofier one. And if there's going to really be trouble, it's probably from Dale. One that I heard a number of times at Toontown and Character Spot. Really any place that we would have more than one character lined up. And the guests would come in and they would see one character and then go to the next character and then to the next one. It was not terribly unusual. At least once a day, we would see somebody walk up, look at the first or the second character if there was more than one, and say, "I'm really not here to see you. I'm just waiting for them." Ooh, some of the reactions they would get from the characters. I can remember a couple just kind of going, or, kind of a, "Well, fine." It would get some good reactions, especially from Donald. Oh, Donald hated it if you actually came up to him in line and then told him you really weren't there to see him, but whoever was next. Yeah, you were probably going to hear it from Donald. Don't get on the character's bad side that way. One that I was always amazed. This is the one time I was really tempted to deck a guest. Is that they would walk up to a princess, say Aurora, Snow White, Jasmine, usually a guy, although I did see it occasionally with a lady, that they would get up close to the picture and say, "Hey, what time are you off? Can I get your number? Here's mine." I couldn't believe how many people hit on the princesses. Jasmine tended to get it the worst, Jasmine and Ariel, because they kind of wore the bikini top bit for a while. That's actually why they changed Jasmine's costume, to try to knock some of that off. People, really? First off, you're hitting on a cartoon character. Second off, you know nothing about that person in real life. And yeah, that was really when you wanted to haul off and hit somebody. Knock it off. Stop hitting on my princess, because I'm going to shoot you and not with the camera. Crass, gross, rude, unacceptable. That would drive me nuts. And we would see it fairly often. That actually, when I was shooting princesses out around the parks, that really was what I tended to watch for the most, especially if I would see a single person or just a group of guys come up, because the character tended half the time to be working the line and stuff. And so yeah, at that point, okay, protective dad mode comes on. Yeah, I know I'm not the princess's dad, but that mode would still step up because I'm going to protect her. Don't mess with my princesses. Mickey in particular would get some of the craziest questions. Although I did see some of these go to other characters as well. There were a couple times I watched people walk up to Mickey, not the photographers, not the attendants, but to Mickey and say,
"Do you know what time Splash Mountain is going to open? When are you going to fix your ride?"
Mickey's kind of busy doing other things. He's not the maintenance guy. That's not his job. Oh yeah, then there'd be the people who say,
"How come you never talk? You never say a word."
Okay, Mickey and the others do talk. They just use their hands. But there's reasons that they don't talk. It's because they get asked dumb questions like, when are they going to fix their ride? I still remember one time at Toontown, I had a guest come up as I was shooting with Mickey. This guest walks up, and you can tell they're a little bit irate as they're coming in the room, which was really unusual to begin with. Most of the time, people walked in the room to see Mickey, and they're happy. Look, they're finally here. It's Mickey. This is cool. And this one guy was just, okay, this is going to be interesting. And I mean, the attendant and I both immediately kind of red flag. We're watching what's going on. He gets up to the mouse, looks him in the eye, and says, "I just want you to know this is the last time we're ever coming to your park. You overcharge us for everything. Admissions, food, souvenirs. It's all way too expensive. I'm not spending the money that you're charging me." And we're kind of looking going, okay, do we need to protect our mouse here? Look, we know he's the boss, but he isn't the one that sets all these policies. Leave my mouse alone. His wife, thankfully, kind of stepped in, pushed him off, and said, "You know, that's not Mickey's fault." And we're like, "Thank you, ma'am, so we didn't have to do it for you." Why do people yell at Mickey? It's not his fault. Or the other one I would see Mickey get was people would walk up to him,
"Are you a boy or a girl?"
And the scary thing is, half those guests were not referring to the costume wearer. And what really got me is when they would ask Mickey that when Minnie was standing right there. And Minnie's kind of going, dress, bow, girl. Like, Mickey's a boy. Hello. You don't know the difference between boy and girl? Minnie's the girl. Mickey's the boy. They've been dating forever. Yeah, just, oh. The people that thought that they were going to get inside secrets, there were some that asked that same question thinking they were going to find out something that they shouldn't know, or they come up to us photographers on the sly. "Hey, you want to tell me the real truth? Mickey's a boy. Mickey's always been a boy. Mickey will always be a boy." They're thinking they're being sly. Or when they ask the characters,
"Do you have an air conditioner in your head?"
And yes, I did respond to a couple of them with, "Do you have one in yours?" The thing that got me, it's a silly question to ask of the fur characters anyways, like Mickey and Donald and Goofy and Pluto. They don't, okay? They don't. Not any more than you do. I actually watched somebody ask Snow White that in Germany. And I'm like, what? Hello? I can almost understand it with the fur characters. Almost. Not really. Especially not in front of people. But Snow White? With an air conditioner or a fan? Were you thinking before you asked that? Probably not. One that cracked me up. I was shooting pictures of Alice over in England one time. We didn't get to shoot Alice very often. Every now and then. And I remember I'm shooting her out in front of the tea house. And we're having a good time. We're playing around a little bit. This lady walks up to her and says, oh my goodness, you're my favorite. Belle, when did you dye your hair blonde? Alice and I both lost it. She was laughing so hard she couldn't answer. I was like, ma'am, Belle is over in France, right across the bridge over there. This is Alice from Alice in Wonderland.
Are you sure she's got the same reading smock?
No, this is Alice. It's not Belle. You'll be able to tell the difference. Belle didn't go blonde. Or my absolute favorite. Poor Pluto was the victim of this so often, although I saw it with Goofy, where a guest would walk up to Goofy. Oh my goodness, you're my favorite. Pluto, I love you. And we're going, no, it's Goofy. Poor Pluto got this all the time. He was constantly called Goofy. Or other characters. He had some that they just plain made up names. Pluto ended up, a lot of times, he's got his collar on with his name tag, and he'd just be sitting there going, Pluto! Hello! Look at the name! That's not Goofy! Goofy's taller with the hat and clothes on. Pluto doesn't have any. But you're my favorite, Goofy! Pluto, can't you tell the difference? Oh yeah, we saw guests just totally lose it with the characters. But they were ones that we sure laughed at afterwards. and in fairness, a lot of the guests, when they realized their mistake, would laugh too. At least the ones that had done a funny and not an inappropriate. Do you have any great stories about people that have done crazy, dumb, silly things with characters? I would love to hear it. Share it in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. I've got lots of info in the trailer. Check the description below. And thank you to my financial supporters. This channel wouldn't happen without them. If you want to know more about any of that, check the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless. Chip has the chip. Nope, not that. So if I put in the part about that time I really wanted to just smack the guy with Aurora, oh my gosh, that guy just drove me nuts. The one time I almost stuck the guest was when he was hitting on Aurora. Okay, I think I got that. I hope I got that. Oh, I wonder. If you'd like to know about my merchandise, contact information, fan pages, and more, be sure to check the description below. If you want to make sure you don't miss any of my videos, hit that button right there to subscribe. And if you want to see another one, well, I've got a great video for you right here. If you'd like to be like these wonderful people here too and support me financially on Patreon or YouTube, well, hit that little button right there. It'll even give you behind the scenes access and more perks. Thank you so incredibly much for watching, and God bless.